What's going on, everybody? It's Blackjack. Welcome back to Crystalline. The next morning, we meet Crystalline bright and early downstairs in bright and early downstairs at the inn. I read that sentence completely wrong. I know I did. He leads us towards the city exit, and soon we return to familiar roads. Our path takes us along the beach for a short while. The white sands glitter beneath the sunlight and filter annoyingly into our shoes. Eventually, we return to flat dirt roads and travel late into the dusk. When the sun is finally creeping below the horizon, we stop a bit off the main path into a grove of trees to make camp. After the fire is lit, the savory perfume of dinner makes me stomach growl. We all gather together as we serve out the food. It's nighttime already. This episode's gonna be over very soon. Kara sits close to Zach during dinner, her arm brushing against her arm brushing against his whenever she takes a bite of food. I catch Zach glancing at her every once in a while before quickly looking away. Leanna scoots closer to Gingalan.
So, Gingalan, can you tell us some more stories?
Yeah, tell us some war stories. We want to hear about some scars, bruh. She's probably safe. This is where options are probably coming in. He chuckles.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't know. I'm an old man. I know a lot of things, and a lot of stuff has happened to me. A lot of stuff I don't want to re-remember. Leanna squirms.
Please?
She said please. She moves even closer. Look, that's the look of someone who's smitten. She wants some gingling. I know it. No, she doesn't. She moves even closer. Her eyes glitter with the kind of excitement I usually associate with small children.
We'd love to hear one.
Amelia takes a tiny bite and then nods.
Perhaps one which is not as widely known.
Leanna beams at Gingalan.
Well, if that's what you wish, how can I refuse?
By saying no. I mean, but you did come along with us. I mean, we would guilt you into it. We'd be like, well, you wanted to come along with us on this journey. We didn't want you here. You just kind of were like here, and you're just kind of lucky that my girl that I'm dating is like infatuated by you. So, you know, yeah, give us the story. I just went around in a circle to say the same thing. Okay. There's a heavy pause. After a moment, Gingalan takes a deep breath.
I loved a shadow caster.
That's unfortunate. His voice was low and sad.
I loved how her giggles shimmered with silver. I loved her moonlit hair. Together we teased, we played. She covered me in twilight, in soft murmurs and rain.
Oh, okay, Dr. Seuss. I also like how I completely skipped your dialogue. I didn't mean to. I just thought he was done. I was like, click.
I'll show you, my sweetling, she whispered. She soothed. My friends and their shadow magic are just misunderstood.
That code word for sex?
But, little by little, her mind turned to dark flowers.
I notice your mouth doesn't open very wide.
And violent meteor showers.
It's very wispy. It's like if I try to not open my mouth as much and say words, it makes me sound much deeper, much more provocative. I guess that's the word I might be looking for.
Shadows poured from her mouth. She spat, she swore, she roared, splattering me with ink, with oil and ore.
I'm pretty sure we're talking about sex.
The night was too strong, too much underneath her skin.
Very kinky.
It flared from her fingers, her shoulders, her rings. She tore apart our friendship, our home, our dreams.
Our marriage, and now I've been divorced for the 5th time thanks to this woman.
Surely, her friends, dishonest and cruel. Surely, she had me fooled.
Her friends are actually the first 4 wives I had. Gingalan pauses. For a moment, I'm not sure if he's going to continue.
I joined them, and discovered too late the mistake I had made.
That was getting married. At all. I should have probably learned the first time, but instead I did it for a 5th.
They had been wrong, not her.
Wait, what?
She was trying to save them, to keep their magic pure.
By pouring ink in your mouth. Ink. I'm just, what?
But the shadows, they whispered. They crawled and lingered.
Oh, I get it. Like she did to you. Yeah, I got you. I'm following.
She fell into my arms, light sweet as mist.
Sierra Mist?
The power wreathed about her neck, her chest, her wrists. As she sobbed, she whimpered, "Please, take me with you.
To the Shadow Realm.
We'll cuddle in our garden of auroras.
In the Shadow
We'll
Realm.
build a house of starlight, of everything lovely and bright."
Uh-huh.
But there was nothing I could do.
Oh, well.
She faded into twilight, into smoke and wind.
Smoke and wind. Earth and fire. I was like, how can I turn this?
I'm left with nothing but the memory of her left on my skin.
Mainly the ink in the ore and whatnot. There's a thick silence. Thick. The weight of his story is still hanging in the air. The moonlight casts over Gingalane's silver hair and beard, bringing out the dark shadows across his face. The fire crackles and pops. Finally, Gingalane bows his head.
Thank you for listening to my tale.
You're welcome. I'm pretty sure I didn't pay attention to like half of it. Leanna's eyes shimmer with tears. Oh, but she's feeling it, so I guess I have to react accordingly. I should probably save.
That was so beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah, Gingalane smiles, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes.
Thank you.
It's a true story. It's based on my actual life.
But it was also so sad.
That was heartbreaking. It was okay. This Weasley old man is using poetry to steal my girl. That's so petty. It's so petty I almost want to click it. I almost want to. But I know that this is not the right option. Like, I feel like this might fuck something up. My heart caves in my chest. Wow, that's such a horrible... I'm gonna read it as sarcastically as possible. Wow, that's such a horrible thing to have to go through. I tried to imagine watching someone I'd love slowly deteriorate into madness. It couldn't have been easy, and then not having the power to be able to help or stop it. It's like the madness that I go into every time every time I'm like, man, Kara, but like, damn, can't do anything about it. My heart goes out to whoever this was. My heart goes out to whoever this was. It was beautifully written, really beautifully. Gingalane looks up at me, his smile is small and sad, and I think he sees gratitude in his eyes. Does this story have to do with him? He nods.
Thank you.
He was really kind of agreeing on the whole, yes, the story is about you. He can actually read minds. Soon after we finished eating, Gingalane leaves to refill his canteen with water from a nearby stream. Leanna and Amelia go out into the field, but I'm not too certain what it is they're doing. Zach and Kara clean up and seem very content to do so without my help.
Oh, that looks fun.
Cleaning? No, it isn't. I promise you, it isn't. I look up. Gingalane is standing there, retying his canteens to his belt. That's the fun part? What does? He nods towards Leanna and Amelia. I follow his gaze to see them practicing magic out in the field. Amelia waves her hand and sends a small flurry of ice across the grass, which he also wraps in plastic wrap. The Pongo grins, hopping up and down with excitement.
Boy! Boy!
Hi, Pongo. You sound like you're down my hallway. He bounces after it, making Leanna giggle. Her manipulator pulses blue, and a small gust of wind breathes out from underneath him and makes him hover above the ground.
Boy!
It's okay. I got you.
Leanna's breeze glides him across the grass, steady and strong. The Pongo's eyes light up.
Boy!
Leanna beams. She continues to push the Pongo along, gathering speed and momentum. She makes him soar across the grass, and he lets out a loud squeak of delight. Amelia spirals more and more ice and snow, her magic trailing behind the Pongo and glittering like the tail of a shooting star. Gingalane sits down beside me.
When I first met you, I felt like I could sense some magic within you, too.
I mean, I have a manipulator, so that would make sense. Gingalane studies me. His eyes seem to stare deep within me, as if he's trying to unmask my secrets. I shift underneath his gaze. Does he already know about me? No, I'm just being paranoid. Shaking the thought out of my head, I smile at Gingalane, who returns my grin. His eyes crinkle warmly as he smiles.
Admittedly, I'm curious to know more about you. Perhaps I could dedicate a whole verse about you and your adventures.
Sure, why not? Yeah, make me famous. A verse about me? He nods again, his smile bright and excited.
Where is it you hail from?
New Jersey. Saria? I should probably say something stupid's about to happen.
Yes, but where in Asaria?
Somewhere far away. Small place, you wouldn't know it.
Try me. I am fairly well traveled.
Fuck, Gingalane, stop doing this. I rack my brain for the name of a city or a place, any name. I'm from New York. New Jersey's close enough. The magical school of Hogwarts. The barren lands of Winterfall. All of these are wrong, right? They all have to be. I mean, like, this one's funny, but that one's just silly. This place up north, very snowy. My dad, Fred Sturk, raised me there. This is a joke I'm not getting.
What is it called?
Winterfall.
How odd. I haven't heard of it.
We're going back to New York.
Yes, but...
Somewhere small, you wouldn't know. You know, the small city of New York. It's called New York. I like how I said that. It's called New York. You know, it's a New York. It's a new one. There used to be an old one. Then there was just a York. Now there's a New York. They're building a Neo York soon. New York. Dingling blinks in surprise.
New York?
Yeah. Yep, like I said, small place, tiny town, smallest town ever. Not many people have ever heard of it. Yingling nods, looking deep in thought.
What is New York like?
Small, never busy. You have to drive everywhere. People shop and go to work. It's pretty boring, super normal.
How odd. I haven't heard of it.
Weird. He fixes me with that same stare, and once again I feel the anxiety rise within me. Does he know I'm lying? Gingling's smile falters, but he doesn't press me.
Did you leave to study at the Mage Academy?
Sure, why not? Yeah, that's totally what No, Leanna taught me. Well, kinda not exactly. Leanna taught me everything I know.
Oh, are you training to be a mage knight as well?
What? No. Kind of. She's been training me in both casting technique and sword fighting. He nods.
I see. And how long have you been training with her?
I don't know. It's probably been like 2 months. How long have I been on Terra? It feels like years. Honestly, with how long this Let's Play's been going, it actually kind of does. But it does. But it couldn't have been more than a few months. For a little bit, I guess.
Well, you must have a very high aptitude for magic indeed.
My heart stops. I haven't cast it in front of him before. How does he know? What makes you say that?
Well, it takes a very skilled mage to be able to train into a mage knight.
I laugh nervously. Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Nothing, just talking about boobs and stuff. That's what bros do, right, Ding-a-ling? Fist bump me. Alright, cool. I look up to see Leanna standing behind me. She grins with her hands on her hips, bits of her hair sparkling from Amelia's ice magic. Just chatting, you know, football. Or what do they call it on Terra? Hand egg. I shoot to a stand, probably a little too fast, but I'm eager to get out of this conversation as quickly as possible. I'm feeling a bit tired, so, you know, I think I'm gonna turn in early. Later, bye. Gingling inclines his head.
Thanks for humoring this old bard.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that you found my true stories that don't make sense in your world humorous. I nod and shuffle over to the bedrolls. I see Leanna take my newly vacant seat. Pongo bounces over to me, shimmering from the magic.
Boy.
Hey, have fun, buddy? Did you have a good time?
Boy.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. He jumps up and down, mimicking flying. I saw that. You did fly. He jiggles happily and nestles in beside me. It isn't too long. I gotta say that the sound effects in this game are actually really good. It isn't too long before I hear the others start to wind down for the night. I guess I really was more tired than I thought because I soon fall asleep to the warm glow of the fire. Well, I thought I was going to end this episode, but someone is shaking me and I'm a little curious. It also feels like a little too early. It's only been like, yeah, it hasn't been that long. Let's keep going. I groan and blink awake. Everything still looks fuzzy. Oh, it's still nighttime. That's weird. It's still dark out. What time is it? A blurry shape hovers over my face. Okay, this is not good. Save now. I'm shaking again, harder this time. Are we being robbed? What? I groan and blink again, squinting. It takes a few minutes for my eyes to adjust. Amy? No.
Yes. Good evening.
No. She doesn't move. Her face is blank, but no. What's up?
I wish to be with you in private.
Okay. No. Giant no. You no. Never. At any day of the week. The fucking police sirens are gonna start blaring at any point now. No thank you. Can I just save? Thank you. Yep, bingo. You are too young. That's also a valid point, but nope, this one. What? Amelia blinks.
Is this so surprising? I have been meaning to be alone with you for quite some time.
My heart kicks up in my throat. Excuse me?
In truth, I have been contemplating it since we departed the beach.
Okay. More and more heat gathers into my cheeks. He goes to pull me up, but I instinctively shift away and pull the bedroll tighter around myself. Amelia, I am way too old for you. Me, who might be 19, but I actually don't know how old MC is whatsoever, but you are like 15, so no. Absolutely not. No and never. Have a good night. It's late and you should go back to bed. And that was actually the next line. I didn't even see it. Amelia tilts her head. I mean, you're like a little sister to me. No, you're not. You know, you're well, I mean, I guess you kind of are. You're a little naggy. I can't do this. You're way too young. A pause. Amelia's intense stare lingers.
I do believe you have misunderstood my intentions. I wish to discuss information with you privately.
I don't even want to do that with you. No. I stare at her for a few seconds, stringing and tying all of her words together. Realization rushes over me like cold water. You wanna talk? Amelia nods.
Yes.
Okay. Oh. A blush burns into my face. An awkward silence settles in the space between us, but Amelia seems undeterred.
Please, come this way.
Listen, if we're just talking about information, I'm gonna need you to work on your word choice. She turns on her heel with a twirl of her cloak and leads me off to the side, far away from the camp and the rest of the group. So, what is it?
I have been pondering the possibility for you casting without the use of a manipulator.
Okay. Oh?
I believe it may be because you've absorbed magic from the elementals directly. That reservoir of magic has been within you since the Fire Temple, and it merely has been a matter of unlocking your potential to cast from within to utilize the energy.
You know, I never realized how silly your pigtail, like the things that you're using to keep up your pigtails are. Like, I always thought it was like maybe like a headband, but no, those are actually like, you have like bows that you're using to keep up there, and they're like 4 rabbit ears. Like you have like 2 rabbits in your hair somewhere hiding with a weird kind of like, they're like dark chocolate brownish black rabbits. Anyway.
The harrowing situation on the beach proved it to be possible for you to channel from within. After having ample time to think, I believe it will be simple for you to pull that energy again.
Oh, really?
If this is the case, then perhaps you are able to cast more than one element.
If you say so. My eyebrows knit together. Like they just like become a unibrow? More than one? I think I know what that means because it's like a this thing. What? She nods.
Thus far, you have only manipulated wind energy. That would lead me to the conclusion that despite the energy you absorbed, you were only using wind energy.
Well, I've only been taught wind energy, so that would make sense.
If my theory is correct, I believe you may have untapped magic gathered inside of you, those of the other elements.
Makes sense.
It is only a matter of bringing that magic to the surface. Have you attempted to use another element before?
No, I've only been taught wind magic. I shake my head. No, Leanna's just been teaching me wind magic. I mean, I'm on top of this. I might as well just be the main character at this point.
I see. Then allow me to show you how to use fire magic.
Okay, Princess Zuko, whatever you want. What? Like right now? She nods and raises her hand. Flames blaze up and curl inside of her palm. Red and orange light flickers across her face. Whoa, that's awesome. Amelia doesn't smile, but I can see a spark of pride flicker between her eyes. She closes her fist. The flame crackles between her fingers before flickering out with a puff of smoke.
Now, it is your turn.
Okay, how do I do it?
It is quite simple. Imagine the fire surging throughout your body. Imagine it flowing up your arm into your palm. If done correctly, a small flame should appear.
I nod and try to do as she says. I hold out my hand and close my eyes. My brows knit together again in concentration. I picture flames coursing through my veins and out into my hand. A teasing warmth tingles down the tips of my fingers, but nothing happens. I open my eyes, frowning. It isn't working. She crosses her arms.
This is a simple cast. Do not give up so easily.
Okay. It took me, like, weeks to kind of figure out the whole wind magic thing. Maybe there's a possibility that it takes me some time to figure out the whole fire thing. Maybe instead of just, like, being like, oh, don't give up so easily, maybe we just kind of go, like, day by day and just kind of improve a little bit here and there. I'm just saying. Yeah, but maybe for me it's not so simple. It took me some time to learn. God damn it! I predicted the fucking text again. She blinks.
Yes, but this is not wind magic.
Which it kind of strengthens my point.
Perhaps we need a different approach.
She pauses and taps her chin.
You mentioned that absorbing each individual elemental energy gave you a different sensation. Perhaps we should focus on the emotional response you felt.
Yeah, I'm finally starting to notice more of, like, your outfit now. Your bracelets are so big that they should be actually falling off of your arms. Or off of your wrist, I mean. How are you doing that? Like, your hand is, like, smaller than the bracelet itself. Like, that should just, like, if your hands go downwards, your bracelet should, like, hit the floor automatically. The emotion. She nods. Like, look at the look at it. Look at it. That should be falling. Like, she's literally using her thumbs, like that little piece of your thumb right there to keep the bracelet up. That is it. It's worth a try. Closing my eyes, I remember the fire elemental. I remember the courage and strength that rushed through me at her touch. The feeling gathers inside my chest, coiling like a hot band of scarlet. I reach out and latch onto it. A crackling, sparkling warmth bursts down my arms. I open my arm. I open my eyes. Red spark fizzes across my fingertips. Sweet, I'm making soda. It's a Mountain Dew Code Red. This is actually how it's made. A huge grin splits my face. Whoa. Amelia calmly nods.
Try snapping your fingers.
What am I, Thanos? I do. A tiny flame hisses and crisps. Maybe I am. Expanding out into a larger one. I'm so excited I almost start laughing. It's sweet. I'm gonna burn this fucking forest down. As she glances at the small flame and then nods.
Yes. Good. Now, let's try this.
Wait, what? The tiny flame puffs out. There's more? Amelia blinks.
Of course. You have only succeeded in creating a basic fire spell. As such, there's still more work to be done.
Uh-huh. She's a lot stricter than Leanna. I hadn't realized how encouraging it was to have a mentor who shared in the excitement of my accomplishments until now.
If my hypothesis is correct, you should be able to combine your wind magic along with your fire magic.
Mm-hmm. Casting at the same time.
Correct. It is the same as any other cast. Focus on channeling your energy through your hand again. If it is easier, perhaps it would be best to summon the wind magic first and add the fire afterwards.
Amy waits for me to try, but I shake my head. Isn't that what mage casters do?
Yes.
And doesn't it take years of schooling to become a mage caster student? A student even more than it takes to become a full-fledged mage knight?
That is also correct.
Are we not seeing a problem here? What makes you think I'll be able to do it with no training and a rudimentary understanding of single-element casting?
Your ability for learning is already expedited when you consider the length of time it took you to learn how to cast at all.
I mean, yeah, but...
Understanding those timelines, it does not seem unlikely that you would be able to quickly acclimate to double-element casting.
Fine. Alright, I'll give it a try then. Reluctantly, I extend my hand. Instantly, a cool wind pours from my palm. Amelia's pigtails flutter in the soft breeze.
Good. Now add the fire magic.
Ooh, wind fire. How?
The same way you would normally cast fire.
I'm gonna create a fire typhoon. How am I supposed to feel the same strength with fire and the feeling of freedom and weightlessness? Oh, I see. How am I supposed to feel that same strength with fire and the feeling of freedom and weightlessness with wind? Just think of America, and I'm pretty sure that'll work. Searching within, I try to balance those two feelings and combine them into one. A moment later, that familiar tingling sensation murmurs down my arm. Heat sparks across my fingertips. fire, larger this time, blazes into turrets around my hand and I really said turrets. Turrets around my hand and wrist. I jolt back, expecting for it to burn, but it doesn't. The wind groans and wisps around the flames, fanning them larger and larger.
Stop.
No, I want to be Seth Rollins. Let me. I do. The fire and wind sputter out, and the rest of my strength slips away. My knees buckle and I gasp, falling backwards against a tree. I slump to the ground like a deflated balloon.
Just as I expected.
Amelia blinks when she notices me on the ground.
Are you unwell?
No, that was probably really difficult to do. I lean my head against the tree. I'll be okay. That was just a lot of energy.
I see.
She pauses, deep in thought.
Such a feat should have taken you significantly longer to learn.
Yeah, and I learned it in like 3 minutes. She lifts her gaze back up to my face.
It might be easier for you to channel your energy because you have been absorbing magic directly from the elementals. Your progress seems to be accelerated because you are using energy stored directly from within you instead of a secondary source, such as a manipulator.
Excuse me, get your English out of here. We're in America. Well, actually, no, we're technically in Terra, but progress. Progress. I'm American. I like things American. I know I'm trying to take all of this information in at once, but my body feels so drained. It's suddenly an effort to keep my eyes open or my limbs up. Somebody's gonna get me in the comments and be like, you say Crystalline wrong. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're right, but America! Amelia glances at me again.
That is enough practice for tonight. Perhaps it would behoove you to get some rest.
Behoove? I let out a yawn. Yeah, I was doing that until you woke me up. I'm pretty tired, and it's still the middle of the night. Go back to sleep, please. Her brows knit together in thought.
Although, if merely casting 2 simple spells in conjunction exhausts you to this degree, I do fear how including more elements will affect you.
Can you just repeat that line one more time?
Although, if merely casting 2 simple spells in conjunction exhausts you to this degree, I do fear how including more elements will affect you.
Okay, here's the thing. I think that she read that line correctly, because conjunction is actually the word that belongs there, but the line says in conjugation. What happened here? I'm kind of curious what happened here. I think that the voice actor probably read that and was like, "That's not the word they mean," and actually said the right word there. I'm curious what happened with this line. What do you mean?
For you to successfully open a rift, you will have to engage all of the elements you have absorbed. To cast multiple elements at once may prove fatal if you experience such exhaustion from using just 2 elements in such a basic cast.
You calling me basic? My insides freeze. It's because of the water magic that I know. Oh, no. Wait, no. I haven't learned. Wait. Have I learned water yet? Earth. Fire. Wind. Yeah, no. Water is the one I gotta get next. Never mind. That's a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? Amy shrugs.
Of course. This is merely speculation based on my observations.
Oh, okay. Silence fills my head. It's an odd, pounding, fizzing pressure.
Perhaps you will be able to gain the strength to cast all of the elements simultaneously.
Like I said, I have to become the Avatar. What do you mean?
The more you use magic, the more accustomed you become to it. Just like muscles can be strengthened with stamina, your mind can be exercised in such a manner for casting.
Okay. How long will that take? She hesitates.
It is no mistake that as you lack the years of training many other casters undertake, you tire much faster than others. At this time, it is difficult for me to estimate that.
Great. Guess I'm just gonna be training forever. My heart sinks. The whole time I've been gathering energy from each of the temples to find a way home, but now there's a chance I won't even survive long enough to make it back? Man, this sucks. I fall silent. Amy watches me closely and grows uncomfortable with my disappointment.
As I mentioned before, this is purely speculation.
You're speculation. You're fake news, Amy. You're not even a real person. I'm not barely registering what she says. My head feels numb.
Given you are exhausted, it would benefit you to get some rest.
Cool. Amy hesitates again, and as if unsure what to do next. Go to sleep, Amy.
Good night.
Night. She turns on her heel and walks back to camp, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I may actually never return home. My friends and family, I may never see them again. Wow. Bummer. My brain vaguely reminds me that I should go to sleep, but my feet are rooted to the ground. There was always a possibility that I may not be able to open a rift and go home, but the hope was always there. It didn't feel like such a real possibility before. Should I even bother trying to cast a rift if the consequences are literally deadly? Maybe I could be happy here on Terra. I think about my travel companions and the adventures we have together. We've only known each other for a short time, but I trust them completely. Plus the thought of losing Leanna makes me feel empty. She's the only girl I've ever liked ever in life. She's so perfect. Oh my god. It is way better than actual best girl Kara. My world is so much fuller and brighter when I can see the way her eyes light up when she smiles, or how she plays with her manipulator when she's nervous. Really?
Can't sleep.
Excuse me, I'm trying to sleep. I spin around at the voice and see Gingalang leaning against a tree. Oh, you're up? He nods.
I heard a noise which woke me up.
That's probably my casting. He peers at me in the dark.
Is something on your mind?
Absolutely nothing. Okay, goodbye. No, it's nothing. Neither one of us moves.
Of course, how can I expect you to be honest with me when I haven't been fully honest with you?
Are you coming on to me, Gingalang? I knew there was something suspicious about him, especially when he was asking all those questions. Tensing up, I watch him warily. Honest about what?
Truth is, I had an ulterior motive for joining your group. While I do still believe you'd all make for a fantastic story, I joined to get to know you specifically.
Fuck, he is coming on to me. Why me?
I saw you at the beach.
He is coming on to me! The blood pounds in my ears. Maybe it's not what I think it is. So, we were all just hanging out.
I saw you cast without using a manipulator. Save that boy.
My heart hammers in my chest and I ball my fist. He saw me and he sought me out. You must have been mistaken. That's impossible. Gingalang holds out his hands as a gesture of peace.
Please don't take that the wrong way. What you did was absolutely amazing, and I just wanted to learn more about you, to understand how you did that.
Honestly, I don't know how I did it either. And even if I did tell you how I think it happened, you'd probably look at me like I'm stupid. Actually, no, you'd probably make a story out of it.
I apologize if I came off too strong earlier.
Yeah, a little bit. Are you gonna tell anyone?
No. I understand what it's like to be different from the norm.
Oh, do you?
And how it can be both something special and a burden.
Mm-hmm. Slowly, I relax my fist.
I don't blame you for hiding who you truly are. Sometimes that's the safest thing you can do for yourself and others.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like he's talking from experience. I think back to the story he told earlier in the evening. Maybe there was a lot more truth to it than he let on. Thank you. He cracks a smile.
So, will you tell me where you're actually from now?
I told you, New York. I freeze and he laughs at my bewildered look. Like, you didn't believe me? I'm really from New York.
I'm just joking with you. If you ever do want to talk, maybe I can lend a little bit of insight. You don't get to my age without learning a thing or two.
Yes, you, Gingalang, at the ripe old age of 64. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, thanks. He nods, then stretches. There's something about Gingalang. Maybe it's because he's new to the party and doesn't know me, doesn't really know me yet. Or maybe it's because I just really need someone to talk to. Something makes me want to share. The rolls come out of my mouth. Actually, there is something I'd like to ask you. He nods. So, supposing you had a friend who was from somewhere else and the only way for him to go home is so dangerous there's a chance he wouldn't survive the journey, would you still encourage him to take that option? Just saying. It's a complete hypothetical. Gingalang rubs his beard thoughtfully.
I would ask this friend what he means by home.
Well, got me. I blink. His friends, his family, his entire life.
Do you think those people would want him to make a life or death decision just to return to them? Or would they feel better knowing he chose the path that would guarantee him a life he could live as he wished?
I'm torn on that one. I actually am, because I had to think about it for a second. I was like, I don't know, actually. Never really thought about it like that. But then he'd be stuck in this new world forever. He only shakes his head.
Life is a journey. There is no defined destination. And because of that, there are no right or wrong ways to travel along this journey. Perhaps one day, his journey will be safe. Or he may not want to go back. Perhaps another day, the choice will be made for him. Or he can choose between both.
What if I can't choose between both? What if it's just like I'm stuck in one? Like there's only one option here. I either go home or I stay here. Ging-a-lane. Need better advice, buddy. I feel myself relax as he speaks. He's right. I shouldn't give up hope just yet because the challenge has been thrown my way. Just run straight through it. Thanks, that helps a lot.
Just remember that you have people who care about you and will support you in whatever you decide.
Whatever you say, buddy. No, it's not me, it's a...
Hypothetical friend, yes.
Uh-huh. He winks at me, then stretches again.
Well, I think it's about time I try to get back to sleep.
Yeah, I've been trying forever, but everybody keeps interrupting me. Same here. It feels to me like Ging-a-lane has experienced a lot more than the typical bard. Maybe he's also had to deal with some tough decisions in his life. Either way, he's pretty alright in my book. Oh, sorry. We head back to the rest of our party in silence. Only the gentle breathing of my friends can be heard over our footsteps. As I curl back into my bedroll, I quickly drift off into a deep sleep. And I thought this episode would have been over like 20 minutes ago. Who knew that there was that much left? I'm shaken awake again. Really? Come on. I'm not a shake. Wait, please stop this. A soft groan escapes as I blink from the blinding sun. Leanna hovers over me, and I groan softly. That's right. She doesn't know about my impromptu midnight training session. I guess I better get ready to spar on the next episode of Crystalline. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You know the whole spiel. So like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz and whatnot. I am glad that you have joined me for today, and I feel like I'm getting close. I feel like I'm maybe just a few more episodes away from finally finishing this. Which will then help me like move on to like a new series or like maybe get back to some more Masa Prom or something else on my own time, and then you know I still record with Ashel and whatnot. But yeah, I feel like this has like been something that I've been like really slowly moving on with. But now that I feel like I'm at the end, maybe I'll accelerate it a little bit more and get more episodes out. But thank you all again so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye. Good night. Down now. Wow, 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 wow. I wish I had a wah-wah pedal. I guitar riff the shit out of this.